Thank you everyone for joining us today at the CDLC webinar. We will begin in one moment with our slideshow as we're letting a few more people in, but thank you for joining us today. All right, thank you for joining us at the CDLC training webinar. Our agenda today will go through a brief intro about the CDLC. We'll go into our new features happening for this next phase, the new data collection form we'll be using to gather your information, and then afterwards we'll have an office hour. This webinar is being recorded, and we will be posting it later on the eBound website. So we're here today to do a little bit of training for the CDLC, the Canadian Digital Library Collection. As you all know, our goal is to provide librarians with valuable tools to discover and build their Canadian ebook and audiobook collections. That is, we're looking to help Canadian librarians and librarians all over the world discover Canadian books by Canadian publishers like you. Right now, the CDLC features custom categories not found on most traditional websites, library vendor sites like regionality, accessibility, and more. We've worked with librarians to develop these set of filters to allow librarians to search for content in the way they want. Once librarians find the book that they wish to purchase, each title on the CDLC has direct links to various library vendor marketplaces so librarians can click, find the book right away, and purchase it immediately. There's other cool assets on the CDLC as well, like a demystifier for accessibility, so librarians can understand all the accessibility features included in ebooks. So we're going into new features. This is very exciting. We've been approved for the next phase of the CDLC, and we're going to be adding some new downloadable assets. We're adding reader and teacher guides for all of your ebooks that contain those, exportable spreadsheets for librarians to save their search results. So if they're unable to purchase in that moment, they can save their results onto an Excel spreadsheet, which we know librarians love a good Excel spreadsheet, and then go back to purchase later. As well, we'll be adding filters to all pages, including publisher pages. This is really important. So for publishers, for your sales teams, they can send these pages directly to librarian groups, and that way librarians can search your publisher page and filter by accessibility or by any of the custom themes that they're looking for to buy books from your publishing house. And now we're going to get into how we're going to do all of this in our new data collection form. So Amanda J. Lee is joining us today, and she will be explaining all of that.
Thank you, Paula. Hi, I'm Amanda. I'm a bibliographic metadata consultant. I think I've worked with many of you, and I'm working with eBound on the CDLC again. I am very glad to be doing so because I think it's a really exciting project. As Paula said, we are enhancing the capabilities of the CDLC to include more displays of our powerful custom filters and more ways for librarians to filter down to find your book specifically. However, in order for them to filter down to see your book specifically, you've got to send us that data. We are doing our best to make it as easy as possible for you to do that because we really want your books on our site. We want librarians to find them and we want librarians to buy them. So I'm now going to walk you through how to get your data to the CDLC. I'm also going to be sticking around after this meeting in a sort of office hour format like Paula mentioned. So if you've got longer questions specifically about how to get your data set up, how to make it work, what's in your workflow that you need to change to make this happen, stick around. You can ask them then. Excuse me. We'll also be doing more office hours in the new year because, like I said, we really do want your data on the CDLC. Okay, Paula, will you slide me? Thank you. Okay. So there are 3 ways to get your themes, categories, and setting locations into the CDLC. When I say themes, categories, and setting locations, those are referring to those filter categories along the left-hand side of the CDLC, as well as the browse sections at the top. The three ways to get that data into us or to us is using Onyx, using our new spreadsheet, or using our new form. Okay, slide please. We also have two extra custom categories. Those are our creator identity categories and our creator, like drill down creator locations. There's only two ways to get those in. That's with our spreadsheet or with our form. We can't use Onyx for that data because typically Onyx doesn't carry it, right? So if you're sending your metadata to BiblioShare, that's great, but you're not sending creator identity there. And frankly, that's probably how it should be. But in our case, the librarians that we've spoken to over and over again for this project have been saying we want creator identity and we want specific creator locations. And so we're trying to make it easy for you to get that to us, even if you can't send it using your typical metadata distribution format. So three ways to get your regular data in: Onyx, spreadsheet, new form. Two ways to get creator identity and creator locations in: spreadsheet, form. All right, so let's talk now about using Onyx. Uh, this is, thanks, Paula. To use Onyx, the CDLC is powered by BiblioShare. So if you're sending your ebook metadata to BiblioShare, you're already 99% of the way there. You've just got to use the specific codes that we use to get our categories and locations in. Those are powered by Thema. You gotta add Thema. Uh, this is a little selfish of me because I want you to add Thema for the CDLC, but Thema is becoming more and more valuable and more used across the world of bookselling. So really, you ought to be adding Thema anyway. And if I can push you to do that by powering up the CDLC, well, more power to us. So what Paula is showing us here on the slideshow, hang on, this is the location code. This is the first and most important thing. This is what librarians really want. They want to know, if you're a Canadian book, well, where in Canada are you? You can get super granular with Thema. So for example, the Thema place qualifier for Peace River Country in Alberta is 1KBC CAAND. That's Northern Alberta, Peace River Country. That actually gets you into 4 categories. That gets you into Canada. So if a librarian just wants a book set in Canada, they click that, you're there. Alberta, Northern Alberta, and then all the way down to Peace River Country. You may be one of 3 books there, but hey, if a librarian in that place wants a book set in their place, you're golden. They know that now. What Paula has got here on the slideshow is a picture of CoreSource. If you are an eBound publisher, this is where you have to go to add those Thema place qualifiers. So you go into the other subject code section in CoreSource, add your Thema place qualifier, and then pick from the dropdown. Really easy. If you are not an eBound CoreSource publisher, this is simply using the Thema place qualifiers. So that is, if I recall correctly, the number 1, I think. So it's one of the qualifier numbers. Make sure you're adding those, and then you're getting in there. That's great for us. That's great for our librarians, but it's great for your discoverability in general. Okay, Onyx publishers, do that in your database. Easy. All right, slide, please. Oh, sorry. Well, there you go. Thank you, Paula. Okay, so the themes, those are along the left-hand side of the CDLC as well. There's themes for Indigenous, there's themes for homelessness and the unhoused experience, there's themes for holidays and celebrations. We selected our themes based on librarian requests. Our theme map is really, really complicated, and we update it as Thema updates, but it does use Thema. So if you are assigning great Thema, your books are going to go where they need to go on the CDLC website, as well as everywhere else in the world that uses Thema. So just make sure that you're adding great Thema. If you've done that and you're still not seeing your book where you expect to see it on the CDLC, please just send Paula or I an email and we'll dig into it and figure out what went wrong. Okay, thank you. You may be asking, how do I assign great Thema, Amanda? I'm not going to give you a full hour-long Thema assignation webinar because I can just see from some of the names along here that I know many of you are already doing this. Thank you. Wonderful work. For those of you who are not, Thema is really easy to use. And frankly, I think it's really fun. The easiest way to do it, the first way to just start is to go to the Thema browser. We're going to send you a link to that at the end. Go to the Thema browser, just search for words relating to your books and assign codes that make sense. It's so easy, it's so fun, you'll enjoy it. In the meantime, though, I'm going to give you Editor's 6 golden rules. Slide, please. Uh, Editor manages and maintains Thema. These are their rules for creating good Thema codes. They are ensure the first subject category is the main subject. Select further categories that best describe the subject and scope of the book together. Assign, this I like. Unlike BISAC, where you're doing 3, you actually are in Thema assigning as many categories as required to describe the content within reason, but you can do as many or as few as you need to say what you need to say about your book. Okay. Observe scope notes and instructions. So that's when you're using that Thema browser, you'll use a little asterisk. Add qualifiers. Those are the codes from 1 to 6, wherever appropriate, to refine the meaning of the subject. That is so important, and it is so important for the CDLC. As an aside from my 6 golden rules, a pause here. If you are using a BISAC to Thema translator, which is a really easy way to get started, it's not going to assign those qualifiers, especially not the location qualifiers, because BISAC simply doesn't know where your book is set. So if all you're doing is using the translator that's built into your database, you're going to be missing out on a lot of really good codes. So at least for your front list, I strongly recommend going into the Thema browser and assigning some extra codes, selfishly for the CDLC, but also so that you can get out there in the world. Okay, and then the last of the 6 golden rules is always consider the context of the categories within the hierarchy. That'll make sense when you look at the Thema browser. Once again, all of this and some links are going to be sent around after this webinar. So if you're not sure what any of this means now, feel free to take a look at the documentation afterward and then shoot me an email. All right, slide, please. So if you are not sure how to assign Thema, BookNet's got some great guidance, and there's some other really good outlines that we've linked in the handouts. Or again, stick around, ask me questions, we'll chat about it. And if you do all of this work and you're still not seeing your books where you think they ought to be on the CDLC, please email us. We would love to help you troubleshoot. All right, so that was using Onyx to get into your themes and locations. Next slide, please. The second method is a spreadsheet that we have built to help you do this. I'm going to pull it open here, and then I'm going to share my screen. All right, Paula, I am stealing your screen share, and you should be seeing a CDLC import template spreadsheet on my screen. This is the second method of getting your discoverability data to the CDLC. You will be given a link to this spreadsheet. This first tab is instructions. I won't go through all of them because I'm going to go through it by hand later, but I will tell you that the very first thing you want to do is create a copy of this sheet. So you don't want to be editing the one that everybody else is going to be editing. Create a copy and then edit it on your own end, whether it's in Google Docs or in Excel. Okay. Filling out the sheet, I think, is very easy and straightforward. If you are an Onyx publisher, so you're already sending your Thema in Onyx to BiblioShare, and you can ask me if you're not sure if that's you, feel free to stick around and ask me and we'll talk. All you need to do is fill out the purple section, creator identity, and the creator location section. You can skip themes and setting because, of course, that's coming through Onyx. Of course, everybody does have to fill out the basic data. So it's as straightforward as enter your ISBN, enter your publisher name, select a creator identity. All right, so we're going to go with 2S LGBTQ. These dropdowns indicate that this is the first level category that your creator will appear in on the CDLC. If you just put this, the creator for this book is simply going to be in that category, in the top level 2S LGBTQ plus category. If that creator has said, I would like to identify more specifically, I would like a more specific identity to appear on the CDLC for me, type in what they tell you here. I would like to highlight very strongly at this moment that whatever you type in here is what's going to show up on the CDLC, because it's your creator is telling you their identity, and we're going to believe them. If it doesn't look to be spelled correctly, well, what do I know, right? I don't know. So, for example, uh, if you've got a creator, oh my goodness, I'm already spelling wrong. If you've got a creator who is genderqueer, that's going to appear as a linked category on the CDLC. If you have a creator who is genderqueer, these are two different categories. So double check with your creator to make sure that you are spelling their identity the way they would like it to be spelled, and double check with your typing to make sure you're not entering typos, because we're not going to call you on those. Okay. Uh, for the creator location, the thing, if you're an Onyx publisher, really, we're only worried about the province or territory, just because there are, there's a St. John's, I think, in almost every province. Uh, the province or territory, and then the city or town. Once again, the city town is what you enter is what goes in. So if you put Alberta, Toronto, I'm going to be like, well, maybe there's a Toronto in Alberta. And if you put, oh, I should fix that. Well, if you put Ontario, yes, I know. If you put Ontario and then Toronto, Toronto is probably not a city, but it might be. That one I'd probably catch, but this is the case where you really do want to make sure you spell it correctly. Okay, so you've entered your creator identity, you've entered your creator province or territory, and you've entered your creator city or town. If you are an Onyx publisher, amazing. Thank you so much. Now you can just save this and send it to Paula, and your data will appear on the CDLC, and we'll all be so happy. If you are not an Onyx publisher, or you're not sure if you're an Onyx publisher, or for some reason you can't send thema in your Onyx, in which case, please talk to me. But if you're not sending that data that way, you can use this template to add that information. So with the themes, you just select the themes that relate to your book. Bingo. With the setting, you're just going to select the provinces or territories that your book is set in. Easy peasy. So simple, so straightforward. Please do that, and then you will get into the CDLC and you'll be super discoverable. Again, if you can use Onyx, that will be better. Not only will it be faster for you, it'll also go to more places, and you'll send your data out in a way that will make it more discoverable across the whole internet, not just the CDLC. The other thing I want to note about this sheet is that if you have multiple creators or multiple creator identities, you will want to enter the same book multiple times. That's fine. That's expected. That's allowed. You will see an example of that in the example data tab. We've built this tab to basically explain everything I just explained, but in words and in a way that you can look at. So please feel free to use the example data tab to look and understand what's happening. And once again, shoot me an email when you have questions about it. Okay, so that's method 2 for getting data to the CDLC. We are going to talk about PDFs and ingesting those PDFs at the end. But for now, we're going to move on to method 3, which is the new data discoverability form. This is the easiest way to get data for a book or maybe 2 books to the CDLC. If you've got some discoverability data for a frontlist title, but you've only got one and you don't have time to do fuss around with a spreadsheet or with entering your Onyx data, you really can just use this form. It'll go very quick. It's not as fast as using Onyx. I won't make you watch me fill out the whole form. It's quite straightforward. It's a Google form. If you have any questions about it, please do email us. And if you're worried about it, stick around and ask me in the office hours, but these links will be sent to you at the end. All right, so those are our 3 methods. You've got Onyx, you've got spreadsheet, you've got form. Onyx publishers who send their data to BiblioShare can use the spreadsheet or the form to send creator identity and creator location, and publishers who do not send Onyx data can use just the template and just the discoverability data form. Okay, all right. The last thing to talk about now are the PDFs. As Paula has said, we are very, very excited about the new option to upload Reader's Guide and Teacher's Guide to the CDLC. This is something librarians have asked for, and now it is something that we can do. It is so easy. Name your PDFs ISBN _RG for Reader's Guide, _TG for Teacher's Guide, or _EG for Educator's Guide. and email them to Paula. We are going to have Paula's laughing. She's like, why did you do this to me, Amanda? We are going to have a Google Drive set up for this. We are just working with our web developer to get it in the right place. And then once we have that, we will send that around to you. But in the meantime, please just email them to Paula. You can also use the form to upload them. So you can just go straight through the form, and then at the very end, it'll ask you to upload. All of this information is in the CDLC import template. It's also in the guide to discoverability that Paula will send you. If you have PDFs that you really think a librarian would be interested in, but are not covered as a reading guide, a teacher's guide, or an educator's guide, use our PDF file list template, and you can select a PDF type. In that case, simply name it ISBN.PDF and then tell us what the type is for that ISBN in the template and email them both to Paula. Sorry, Paula. Once again, as with all things on the CDLC, please be careful. This is going to be entered onto the site as you have typed it. So watch your spelling, watch your punctuation. Okay. I am going to stop sharing. And I am going to tell you now, thank you very much, by the way, for watching my demos. I hope that it was understandable, and I hope that it will be easy and straightforward. If you are not sure if you're sending location like thema using Onyx, please feel free to just go ahead and fill out the form or the spreadsheet. It won't overwrite anything, it'll just add. But if you'd rather ask me, you can do that. And if you'd rather just use Onyx, you can do that too. All right. Thank you so much. Please stick around if you have questions or concerns or want to chat about any of this. Look forward to receiving the documentation in your email later today or early tomorrow. And thank you. But what I will say is that we will have another one of these office hour sessions in the new year. So if you play around with the sheet, or you start sending your data over Onyx, or you start making more robust thema and run into questions while you are doing that, come to our next set of office hours or send me an email. We will be around.